So it's currently like 5:15. We woke up. Well, Char woke up at 4:45. I woke up at 5 to escape the ranges this morning. We free camped up with a little bit of view. So like, this is what we woke up to.
So we've just finished up snorkeling at Turquoise Bay. We did this thing called the drift loop where you walk down a little bit and then jump in the water, and basically the current just drifts you back to where you started, which was pretty awesome. We'll insert a couple of clips now. Campsite tonight at Char, which is in the national park. We haven't been able to find any availability the whole time we've been in Exmouth. We're going there now, so we're spending the night tonight so we can come back to Oyster Stacks in the morning at high tide for another snorkel. So you might not be able to hear me because it's so windy, but this is Char Beach. It's actually really pretty.
Yeah,
like
it's cool.
It is very cool. So this morning we had a pretty chill morning. Seb went fishing and I just chilled in the tent and read for a couple of hours. But we've just left our camp at Currajong and we've come down to Osprey Bay before we go snorkeling at Oyster Stacks when it's high tide. And this is what it looks like so far. It's absolutely stunning. Chilly nonetheless though. Seb just wanted to fly his drone, so we've come to a random little turn off towards the water, but it's just so pretty. I'm so grateful to be here. The white sand beach up along this way, and all the rocks and just this gorgeous crystal clear water.
Unfortunately, no turtles for us. Then we went to Oyster Stacks, and I think that was my favourite. The coral was insane, like it was so incredible, and the fish, like because it's a sanctuary zone, there's just fish everywhere. There were some patches of like really brightly coloured coral as well, which was cool. Then last off, we went to Turquoise Bay again, did that. I did it. Char made lunch for us, and I jumped in for 5 minutes just to check it out. And the visibility was so much worse than yesterday, so I was lucky we did it yesterday instead. We're just on the road back to Exmouth now, popping into town literally just to buy some more mandarins because that's been like the fruit that we've been living off recently. But then we're just going to pop into Charles Knife Canyon and Shot Hole Canyon. They're not walks or anything, they're just kind of like drive in, have a look. And we're heading to a rest stop kind of on the way to Coral Bay for, to sleep out tonight, to then go into Coral Bay town tomorrow. So yes, that's our plan for the rest of the evening. So we're currently just on the way into Shot Hole Canyon. You can't really see very well, but it is incredibly green. The road definitely isn't great. But yeah, impressed so far. Gorgeous, gorgeous scenery on the drive-in. I just realised we filled up fuel like, I don't know, an hour ago, and I realised I forgot to reset the odometer. And we've got two odometers going, like two trip odometers going. So we've got one that does the kilometers of the entire trip, and then one that does the fuel like tank specifically. And I was flicking through having a look, and we got the scare of our lives because the trip one has restarted. It only says 439 kilometers. We were on 9,500 the other day. I reckon we've hit 10,000 and it's automatically restarted. So we've done 10,500 kilometers so far. That's not bad in a month. Unfortunately, we didn't make it to either Shot Hole or Charles Knife Canyon. We got like 2/3 of the way to Shot Hole, but if we kept going, we would have been driving back in the dark, and it was a pretty dodgy road. Like, it was good fun to drive in, it was a pretty cool drive, but like, it's a bit of a forward drive track, and I don't know, just not worth doing it in the dark and risky doing it tight because all the rocks are pretty sharp. So we may come back and do Charles Knife in the morning. If not, we'll have to do it on another trip.
So we've just arrived in Coral Bay, and it doesn't really do it justice. We've driven past the busiest bit, but this caravan park is full to the brim.
So we're almost at Warwick Station now. There's two really big stations that are down here. One is Nalu, the other one's Warwick. It actually looks quite good at the moment. This section's really good.
So I'm just talking to the campground host. This spot is awesome. So we're just chilling at the beach. Seb is spearfishing somewhere over there. He just came over before and said he hadn't had much luck, but he was keen to continue exploring. But the guy who owns this boat right here and there in that campsite just there had caught 4 spangled emperor, which is apparently a nice fish. They came in about an hour ago off their boat, and like he showed Seb the esky, and Seb was very impressed. But he just came over to me and he was like, "Hey, would you like a couple fillets of freshly caught spangled emperor?" Yeah, he was just such a good guy, and he was like, "Yeah, they're filling it up for you, like just chuck them on the fire and some alfoil and you're good to go." So even if Seb doesn't catch anything, we have dinner sorted for tonight. How good is that? I love people that we meet on the road. So Seb is back from his spearfish.
I am. So that was the first time properly going out. I worked out that I need another weight on the weight belt. I was just kind of getting used to like loading it, and then so I had a huge trevally come past me. By the time I loaded it, he was already gone. On the way in, like the tide was starting to go out, and then I saw like a school little brim, probably maxing out at 30 centimeters. So took a shot at one, and as I shot at one, he swiveled, and then so I shot his little mate behind him just through the tail there, unfortunately. So
Seb is questionably attempting to
completely butchered it.
The fish. Maybe take him out to the main area.
So we found a little bit of a friend. He's liking the fact that
he's dangerously close to a fish.
So Char's filleting up what the guy gave.
Filleting. I'm cutting chunks off. I have no idea what I'm doing.
We got all like the segments like that. So he's obviously taking all his own main fillets.
We haven't really shown you guys this, but this is like our nightly routine. Seb is doing his diary entries. We've had to catch up on a lot of them since we worked at Matzo's. But yeah, we pretty much just chill in bed. We've got the fairy lights on tonight. They're on very bright. So Seb's just had a haircut.
It's a lot shorter, hey?
It is a lot shorter. Look, but I'm not a professional hairdresser.
I think it's pretty good.
I just chopped and chopped, and that's the result. Yeah, at least it's a little bit more tame now. So we've just been out for an unsuccessful spearfish. I came along my wetsuit, just with my snorkel and fins and stuff. We were recommended this spot, but it was, yeah.
Like it was just reef, there was no reef at all. Like so we didn't see a single fish. Like the biggest fish we saw was probably that big.
I saw a big ray, only in the distance. I don't think we told you guys, but last night the people that gave us the fish yesterday gave us more fish. We actually ended up having a really good chat with them yesterday, and they were so lovely. They have kids kind of our age and a little bit older, and they caught a whole lot more fish yesterday. So he like offered us the wings and everything again, and they popped in an extra fillet for us, which was so lovely. And they gave us some tips on like where to get reception around here and everything, because they're here for 17 nights and they come up every year for like a big fishing expedition. Anyway, we just dropped off a little note to them to say thank you and just like popped under the windscreen wiper, and we're praying that the wind doesn't blow it away. Yeah, we're leaving 14 Mile today. We're heading up north a little bit to Elephant Rock and Five Fingers Reef to start the morning. We've just seen this little fella on our drive to the reef. He's a funny looking one, isn't he? So unfortunately we didn't go for a swim at the reef. It was just so windy, as you can kind of see. It was absolutely crazy. So we just came into town, we grabbed some groceries and then headed over. There's like a free outdoor shower, just like a beach shower. And I actually just like rinsed my hair off because it was so salty.
So this is our campsite last night. Over 14 Mile Beach. It's pretty windy at the moment, so we positioned it was an offshore breeze. So we positioned the hardest part there. So the canvas flaps don't rattle all night. We also bungee tied this down so the strap doesn't rattle. And then leave this up to try and compress the canvas a little bit. Doesn't do too much with the wind howling, but it's better than nothing. So I've just gotten out all the exercise kit. And Char's just gonna jump in the water down there somewhere.
So we've just been up to the top of this hill today to get reception. There's been lots of kangaroos up here, but they're all gone now. We scared them all off. Yeah, we literally have just come up here to book our campsite. Now we're heading back to the car, driving back to 14 Mile. We're staying there another 2 nights. And
Tomorrow the wind's supposed to die down.
yeah, oh yeah.
So we decided to stay for another 2 nights, and then one of the days we'll go up and do Five Fingers Reef, which is like the best
Where we
northern
were
spot
yesterday.
It is so ridiculously windy. Tonight it's supposed to hit 50 kilometers. We had the head torches on outside while we were brushing teeth, and you could literally see sand flying around in the air like it was snowing.
I felt like when you like walk in the direction of the wind, it felt like the wind was like fully just like pushing you along. It was crazy. So this morning the flies are absolutely horrible, but it's low tide, as you can kind of see. So we're just about to head out for a walk along the reef. Maybe we'll find some octopus, maybe we'll find some crabs. Yeah, we're just gonna see what's out there. We've got a little crab. I don't know what Seb's trying to do.
Just playing it.
But look, he's attacking the stick.
He's bigger.
He's so big.
I don't think he's legal.
Oh my god,
Travis, Glenn and Nikki, and they caught 20 squid today.
yeah.
They ran into a big school, dead set, they caught 20 squid.
So we got 3 squid, like to make calamari rings.
And then they gave us all the tentacles because they've got 17 more of these to make calamari out of.
Yeah.
They gave us the tentacles. They've given us a few more fillets of Charlie cod and spangled as
I
well.
don't know if they're spangled in there.
And then there's, I think this is a belly, yeah. Then there's a spangled belly as well in there. We have so much fish, it is not even funny.
As you can see, we're back by the water again, in our wetsuits. We kind of just went out for me a snorkel and Seb maybe a spear, but you probably can't tell, it is just so murky out there.
A little video while we were in there, so we'll put that video now.
Yeah, it was just really bad vibes. We ended up coming in like way earlier along, like we were meant to get out down there, but we ended up coming in here just because we were both getting a bit sussed out. Unfortunate, but once again, good to get out, explore a little bit, and better luck next time. So we've just arrived at Five Fingers, and I don't think this does it justice, but it is so clear and blue. I reckon this is some of the bluest water we've seen.
And the contrast with the reef as well, because it's lower tide as well.
Yeah.
So the reef is higher up, it's so
awesome.
a good day at Five Fingers today. We spent the whole day there.
We are just on the way to the Warra Station homestead for tonight, so we're looking forward to a hot shower. I think I'll do calamari for dinner from the stash that Nikki and Glenn have given us.
So this is our dinner for tonight. We've got our squid tentacles being cooked up. We've gone through most of our resources in the past week or so, just because we haven't been near a Woolies or a Coles. So we didn't really want to spend like $8 for a box of Wheat Bix and that kind of stuff. So we had a bottle of pancake mix and thought we'd use that so we don't have to buy any more Wheat Bix, and then we'll stock up in Carnarvon when we're in 2 days.
Our intention was toast this morning, but our bread, it was mouldy.
Yeah.
So this guy is just walking back to his caravan just over there, and he just looks over to Seb and goes, "G'day mate, would you like some alcohol?" And Seb goes, "Yeah, sure." And he's carrying this, and he goes, "Oh yeah, we were at Masso's and we bought this and we really don't like it. So do you want it?" And we were like, yeah. How funny. So we've just arrived at Stevens Beach, and as usual the camera doesn't do it justice, but the water is crystal blue. Now we're just heading down to the lagoon to have a look. It's meant to be another like surf kind of style beach, and then we might head up to Pelican Point as well for some snorkeling, but we're going to do sunset at Wedding Hill tonight and hopefully see some whales. So I've just taken a random turn off and it's taken us to this lookout, which is pretty cool.
So sick. So we've got a little gate opening here at Warra Station to go through. Thanks to Char for opening her up. We're at our sunset location for tonight. Char's just out of the car. We thought we'd move her around, spin her around, just so we have a little bit of shelter while we're cooking. Otherwise it's just too windy and the flame won't even light on the stove. So we're just at the end of the Ningaloo reef shelf. We're like, I'll show you down here. So like that's what extends and starts at Exmouth and comes all the way down to here. Like you can see on this side where there's like a separation between the outer ocean and then the beach, where on this side it just turns back into regular beach breaks. Now I'm cooking up my fish tacos with my fillets. Got my tacos ready. Yeah, and then we're also having those free drinks that that guy gave to us. What do you think?
So good.
So good.
Very proud. This is his first independently made. Like I've literally just been sitting on my chair enjoying my Matzo's hard berry. So this morning we've just started driving into Carnarvon. We've hit the outskirts.
So left and right, all just banana fields,
yeah,
left and right.
all the banana trees and plantations. Hopefully we'll get some good fresh fruit from our time spent in Carnarvon. So we've just come into the first little store on the Fruit Loop, and this is like a chutney and like sauce and all sorts that they've made with the fresh fruit and veg that they obviously grow. I think both my parents and Seb's parents would love this stuff. Mango chutney, tomato chutney, relish, capsicum relish. So, there's crazy amount. Figure out whether it was one of your team or one of National Glass's team members that instructed us to put super glue in the cracks, so we can figure out where the issue is and who. So it's almost 5 o'clock. We've just been chilling on this grassy area next to the water, just in Carnarvon, because everything's closed. We couldn't sit at a cafe or anything, but we're just waiting for the car service to be finished. We're going to start walking back now because it's about a half an hour walk to the Toyota dealer. But yeah, after that we'll just be heading back to the caravan park, having some dinner, doing a Woolies shop as well, urgently needed, and washing too. But yeah, nothing too interesting from today really. We got to Carnarvon and then pretty much went to the bakery, our favourite place in every town. Yeah, we get like the discounted bread.
$2 bread.
Yeah.
$5. So we got our calamari dinner here with all our calamari cooking too. Kudos to Char the chef, who's done a phenomenal job. It's crazy. We had the tentacles the other day and I really wasn't a fan. But now they've like been cooked like this, I love them. So it's quite funny.
We are just on a terrible road. heading up north towards like Nalu and Red Bluff. We stayed at Quobba Blowholes last night, which was pretty good. Had a very quick dip this morning, and yeah, we've just started to venture up north, but it's just the road is on another level.
And of course, during our service, we found out that our brakes aren't fantastic, and
Yeah.
we really need to get our brakes changed. So
Apparently our rear brake pads are almost metal on metal, but they didn't have the parts to fix them because they only had the brake pad, but apparently you have to replace the rotor as well. So they wouldn't change them over, so now we have to wait till Geraldton.
which means that I can't really go fast because if there's a pothole and I have to slow down, then I'm using the brakes that I'm not allowed to use.
Yeah, he was just like no heavy braking. It's good that it's the rear ones and not the front ones, but still. Got quite a few things to sort out on the car, unfortunately. But yeah. So we're just watching the surfers at Red Bluff, and there are dolphins out there. I don't know where they've gone, but they were literally the little guy. Yeah, about 3 meters in front of him. You can just see their fins coming out. How cool is that? Oh. So I had my door open to check the tires or something, and I heard this weird rattling coming from this wheel. We don't know if this is it, but I've just stuck my hand in and found this stick that you can see Steph playing with. I could just see the ends of it, these bits, sticking out. But
It's huge. It's like bigger than a ruler. It extends like up there, all the way up into this side.
anyway, I don't know if that's the root of the sound. It kind of sounded like the suspension, but nonetheless, I need to try and get this stick out.
So we're at Nalu Station. There's this really famous break that's right next to Red Bluff, or like a half an hour drive from Red Bluff, called Tombstones. Tombstones is just up the beach that way, and we've come down here hoping to free camp. They charge $40 a night at the homestead, which is just, I don't know, it's ridiculous. Like in Carnarvon, you could literally pay for a powered caravan site for $40. So, and like we were making tracks, like there were no cars that came up here, like no cars that do come up here. So we should be relatively fine up here.
So Seb is making a delicious dinner. This is the Charlie cod with the, he's just some tomato with it. And then this is the Spangled Emperor. They both needed eating today. They were getting a bit
festive. I didn't do that.
And then we were gonna have capsicum, but we cut it open, started cooking it and everything, and then I looked inside and that is mold, which is not good considering we bought these capsicums like 2 days ago. They've stayed in the fridge and everything. They are from some organic farm. So as you can see on my glasses, it's raining a little bit. This morning we woke up in our free camp, sneaky one, just kind of outside of Nalu beach camp, 3 mile camp or whatever. So we woke up quite early there, had some brekkie, and then headed to check out Tombstone Beach again, which was not looking very good. So we came all the way up north past the homestead to Nalu Bay, which is meant to be good in the wind. But we were just sitting on the beach and it started pouring with rain. Well, not pouring, but sprinkling. Sprinkling enough that we didn't want to stay there any longer. So we're now in the car and we're just going to try and figure out our plan for the next couple of days, and then hopefully the weather will pick up and be a bit nicer because it's quite cloudy at the moment. So we've just seen some really big humpback whales in super close, just past that break just there, about there. I don't know if they're still going to be going.
I saw one now.
But they're super cool. Oh, there he is.
So there's the signs out to Red Bluff. We've decided to go back to Quobba, unfortunately without surfing Red Bluff or Tombstones. It was, we got there at midday yesterday. We got to Tombstones and apparently the surf was fantastic in the morning. For the next like 3 or 4 days, it is very blown out, very windy. Like I went in the water today and as I said before, and it was all stirred up and like very blurry.
literally just come back into Carnarvon. We spent a lot of time calling people to see if we can get a mechanic to do our brakes, but unfortunately not. I think Geraldton will end up being the next option, but oh well. And then basically we just parked up in front of the visitor centre because it had free Wi-Fi, and I did an hour and a half of tutoring while Seb chatted to his parents and stuff. Yeah, and now we're just leaving town. We're going to find a free camp for the night, cook some dinner, and go to bed. I feel like today was a bit of a boring day. I mean, the blowholes were cool this morning, but other than that, a very chill one.